Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia responded to Dr. Bryan Acheampong all the way from the United States of America. Dr. Bryan Acheampong akokase Bawumia ye Mamprusi-Kusasi for in the Boko conflict, eno ka ho NPP vote one northern region ama. In the entire northern region NPP seats abafom. Share the entire northern region. Upper East Krado seat back okra. And it's a very, I think Upper East to Upper West, one of the upper regions, only seat back okra. A very interesting comment by Dr. Bryan Acheampong. Many people are expressing so many disappointed in him. Bawumia are responding, and then okay, what does the data show? That is the context I'm bringing to this conversation. Subscribe me, now click the bell notification. Me the video be at ma, obehu na what me ashebi. Yes, earlier I think I know, and I'm who's a video no trend. Dr. Bryan Acheampong or MP for Abetifi or one of the people may you mutis MPP be a presidential contest no or contest be. Oshia delegate Abetifi baby on we may any idea. Now somebody two air trend amount for be dinner 10 pound when people ebini.
Kusasi for any Mamprusi for no problem. President Kufuano or we need MPP vote the Kusasi. Or we need MPP vote the Mamprusi. President Kufuano or we need MPP vote the Kusasi. And we need MPP vote the Mamprusi. And it's a sense of original conformity. I have come from and in 2024, apart from a point, a free OT, equal upper east, upper west, and northern, upper western region. The Lucy is a woman. It's a and if you are a victim of circumstances, it's not your fault. I may not know anything. But we cannot wait. This situation, we and I have one prize on which we have solved in 2028. But the suspicion will not go away. And MPP will not be held ransom and stay in the position because of this matter. It's a fact. We are in this business to win power. And here emotional and here personalities. I'll give you examples. We are here to win power. It is a shame to see the power of the Kenyan. And the NDC always shows us the way. There's no emotions. If you can say you're pocket here, and you're going to money, you're the pocket here. Sometimes we get carried away with emotions when we have to do the politics. I would have contested power. I would have contested power. So my election, my election. You can't say at the papa. And you can't play on fast one. The boy. But my election, you wouldn't hear it. And we are a political party. Until say the people Kamalinu Krano, they are contesting how I 2028 no. That is what we want to do. Akunyano abeto konidi and only 187 183 our parliament so we a woman or even 2028.
Yes, so Dr. Bryan Acheampong you can say baby about me free ban the Mamprusi side no on Kusasi for nti no wanya care for baby Kusasi for eto abako no MPP nyabi and I baby omo to omo ba no MPP nyabi no kan no Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia so you outside the country but what she MPP before no mo bonkomo and our response is some no nya no kre ayan tro no mu twa then the woman kasa wo chirim say no kan
2008 we had 1 seat 2012 under President Kufuor we had 0 seats 2016 we had 2 seats 2020 we had 1 seat and 2024 we went back to 0 seats. What all the data is saying is that out of the 6 seats in the NPP, 6 out of the 6 seats, the 11 elections, MPP has 0 in 6 of the 11 elections. So this is not an area that is a stronghold of the MPP. In fact, it took the whole Boko zone, the 6 constituencies put together, we lost just 30,000 votes in 2024. So you can't look, it is not the Boko election that made us lose 2024. And we need to be very clear about that the data shows that the Boko factor was not a factor in the outcome of the 2024 elections, and we should stop moving in that direction. Another piece of propaganda people have been pushing, and it's very important, is a religious propaganda that because I was a Muslim, and that's why we didn't win. That is also not supported by the data. I'm a data person, so I always go and look at the data. And if in fact that was the case, you would see that MPP presidential and parliamentary candidates, if in fact people were voting according to religion, in most of the constituencies, the Christian parliamentary candidate should have been doing better than me, isn't it? But that was not really the case. In most of our strongholds, I was doing better in many constituencies than our parliamentary candidates. If you see in places like Effigia Secretary East, in Ashanti Akim Central, Ashanti Akim North, Chimawa Meja, Bekwai, Kwada, Soma, Pong, Manshia North, Manshia South, Mansun Edubia, Mansun Kwantan, Shayasun Suta, Kwamambe Koso, Huasi East, Huasi West, Offensive South, and then Century Pram Place. This is just Ashanti. I did better than all the Christian parliamentary candidates in all these constituencies. So it doesn't show. My favorite example is Asen South. Asen South, my good friend Reverend in Tim Forgio was the candidate. He's a reverend, but I beat him in his constituency.
Yes, according to Mahamudu Bawumia, enye baby o free. Na e won no ye Muslimi gra na Ashanti region MPs ne dodo na onya bi sin wo. Ezi e kaso ye Muslimi ni na ebi ankrofo mpena samo de a. Se nken ne se nduru ho. What's my view on this? My view on this, I've done it before in a video. We have a video, maybe a repetition, amano. But you see, let me pick my daughter and do this analysis for you. Makebida. Always, what I say is that I feel that the MPP maybe are not facing reality when it comes to some of these issues. Why am I saying so? 2024 abane ekoto nipa eto abano. Now about 18 million. Right? 18 million registered voters. Now, some 18 million registered voters are. You can infer say they will use tribalism to vote, right? So you must always be careful not to sound say why am I saying so? Afrobarometer, one of the most credible data sources I all Ghana and African now. On year research, you got about 2024. Omubusa Nkrofo said, then I be jina so dia to aba. What will influence voters' choice? 2024 election. Say candidate ni nukredi. The honesty of the candidate's character, candidate ni subai, the candidate promises, candidate ni bo obeshamanfo, the candidate's running mate, candidate no only running mate or the neighbor, gifts. Say a man idea, any idea, and then you find the pork barrel politics. So we should be a fumu so be a is pork barrel politics. The candidate ethnicity, then the candidate religious faith. So those who said they will vote based on the candidate ethnicity is 12%. Those who said they will vote on the candidate faith is 11%. Now let me state this. The MPP tried something that is a novelty. The first time two parties from the hegemony, NDC MPP, presenting a Muslim candidate was the MPP. Ebin Sida. Atamels, no ye Christoni. Rollins, no ye Christoni. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, or from Northern Region, boy Christoni. MPP. Professor Papa Kofo a Christoni, President Kofo a Christoni. So the two major political parties, no, the first time one is presenting a Muslim on the ticket was the MPP. Now the MPP did that based on many Nana Komiamun Semoma Kanyana people. They say, yes, it don't move for Buzia Kofo, Dankwa Kofo, Edu Dumbuso. So the MPP experimented in 2024 because that's why I call it a novelty. Two major political parties, you know, and the PNC and CPI, that's not my analysis. They've not really gained a stake in the foreign Republican dispensation. So MPP and DC. So that's why I called it a novelty. Now, candidates and ethnicity at 12%. You had 18 million a Kotuaba. Now, let me do this. 12 divided by what? 100, right? That will be what? 0.12 multiplied by 18 million. Now, yeah, the Kotuaba. So 18 million, that will be what? 6 zeros, 18 million. Okay. So that's what? About 2 million, about 2.1 million people there. They believe that ethnicity will play a role in the elections. 2.1 million. That's around the same figure we say faith plays a role in the election. The difference between MPP and this election was about 1.6 million. You cannot discount religion and ethnicity in this contest. Me prognosis and media MPP say they should commission a thorough research. People may not be honest and give an honest feedback. They should be able to commission a private survey, you know, a company be a private entity, KPM, I don't know, KPM, political research. Company be a political research to really speak to issues. Because you see, I operate in Ashanti region. Eba san komona, I ask Biana ni ding. It means what's the name? On tribalism, Biana, I'm very careful. I used to set a lot of caveats. Omama kofa bentina meet me can be boldly say no. But I think say on your research they may be able to know, because you cannot also discount these religious factors and ethnicity in politics. Because after all, Afrobarometer, this is data. This is not you just say to me, Mr. This Afrobarometer, actually they're proving that you will need 12% to be 2.1 million. And no more kotuaba, baby, and you free. Some me yachini. Ebe factor. Some me Christoni, ebe factor. Na Christoni no could be a Pentecost, Assemblies of God, Roman Catholic. So the MPP must occasion a thorough research into this to be able to really understand and answer than rather jettison it. Same as a Prof. That I believe is an internal party conversation. It is not really a national conversation, because let's not forget, if the MPP elect Bawumia from the MPP, they will need to present him as a national candidate. We have that national acceptance. And what does even Prof. Okoye report within the MPP also say about ethnicity and religion when it comes to politics? So for me, they need to occasion that I, as a researcher based on this data, will not totally jettison it. I will not totally jettison it. It is a factor. Because at least, do you know what 12% means in an election? It is huge. Because 18 million now, 50% is 7 million, 25% is 3.5 million. So 12% is 2.something million. And they are all saying that it's a factor. Therefore, you cannot jettison it. That is my view. You cannot jettison, because even election is 50 plus 1. So even 1, how much more 12%, which is about 2 million votes. That is my understanding of it. It is not entirely false that people don't vote based on religion. And I said, that answers it all. I believe it's more than that. It may be say be a candidate in watch and one from it's possible. Say be a Kubo baby and one from Grofo. It's possible. Go what cha. Your look at Chairman's Abusu. So all those angles, you know, the MPP, I believe, need to be honest. Occasion a proper academic exercise. Afrobarometer, that's it. So I can't say, based on what? But there's a data source. So they need to do that. And they need to pierce behind the veil and present it. My public admiration for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is public. But when it comes to analyzing a candidate, it is not about your likeness for the candidate. It's about how the candidate appeals to various demographies. Does Bawumia appeal to the Christian demography, which is about 70% of the country's population? Does Bawumia, though there's a conflict between Mamprusi and Kusasi, does Kusasi see him as Obi Obedishwa or may bias towards them? Does the northern region see Bawumia as that voice for them? That the southern Ghana see Bawumia as that voice for them? They need to establish all these nuances in a proper research. But all the one who can translate new was idea because the data is showing. I can also say maybe any panel watch it. Because parliamentary elections are totally different from presidential elections. That is why in 2020, while the NDC was winning convincingly in parliamentary elections in the central region, Akufo-Addo also won convincingly in presidential elections. So those two elections may not be the same or may not have the same dynamics. This is my view on it. I don't know what you think, and I trust you to share your comments in the comment section. Professors. Based on what you think. Do you think it's a factor? Do you think they should do a research? What do you make of it? Feel free and share, but let's keep it across. Yamisha non council shape. Subscribe for me. Now click the bell notification. The video be at one. Obe who know should be. Debi ame kebibi. Ehiame. Ghana here. Means me here. Smash your subscription. We'll see you. And I'm gonna take off yourself. Bye bye.